Okay, so this final answer that we got, which we're going to write right here, $1,010.55. This was the slow method. We're going to kind of talk to you about how to use sigma notation to be able to do this exact same process. So what I'd like you to do is we're going to write sigma notation. Okay, and we're going to say x equals 1. We're going to go all the way to after the 4th month. And we're going to put our A1 value right here. I'm going to put A1, which is 250. And then we're going to multiply it by our rate, which is 1.007. And we're going to raise that to the power of x minus 1. We can use the calculator to be able to do that. We're just going to go to our calculator. We're going to type it in, alpha window, number 2, x 1, 4, put your A1 value. I'm going to put parentheses, 1.007, and I'm going to raise that. I'm going to hit the right arrow. I'm going to raise that to the power of, it's not working, hold on, let's go back. I'll try it one more time, sorry. Alpha window number 2. It's going to put times 1.007, the power of x minus 1, press enter. And what you'll notice, you get the exact same answer. This rounds to the answer that we just got. So this is how you would use sigma notation to be able to do your geometric series. Just remember this. This is your first value. This is your R value. This is the first term. That's the final term. You're always plugging the previous one in to be able to get it. So that will be the sum of all of those together to get your final answer. But we're going to do a few more right now. We're going to go ahead and do a few more. So we're going to go ahead and do some finite geometric series right here. We're going to use our calculator to be able to do this. So right here, I'm going to say my very first term is 1. My next term is 0.8. So if you ever want to figure out what is your R value, your R value is going to be this term right here divided by the first term. Well, 0.8 divided by 1 is still going to be 8/10, also known as 4/5. Alright, and so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out if this is your first term, and this is your second, and this is your third, and this is your fourth, all the way, this will actually be your 20th term. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and write a sigma notation. I'm going to put x equals 1. We're going to start out with the number 1. We're going to multiply it by our rate, which is 4/5. And we're going to raise it to the power of x minus 1, and we're going to put the number 20. Now, why am I putting the 20 again? Because what is 20 minus 1? That gets me to 0.8 to the power of 19. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to find out what our final answer will be. So once again, alpha window, number 2, put x, first term, going all the way to 20, doing 1 times, I'll just put 0.8 to the 4/5, to the power of x minus 1, press enter, we get 4.94. 4.94. So scroll down, 4.94, there it is. Now, what does that mean? That means we're taking all of these and we're finding the sum of that geometric series. Okay, that's what it means. Let's do another one. Okay, so this right here, this right here simply means the previous term. Previous term, and this right here, this is the R value. Okay, so don't get too confused here. That just means the previous term. I'll highlight it. That right there, that means the previous term, and then this right here, this portion means that common rate that's being multiplied over and over and over again. So let's think about what our first term is going to be. Ready? Our first term, they say, is 8, which means our second term is going to be 8 times negative 1.5. So 8 times negative 1.5 gets us to negative 12. Then what do we do again? We multiply that by negative 1.5, and we keep doing this, okay, over and over and over. So we get to negative 12, then we get to 18, and this would be the long way. Well, what are we going to be doing? This is the sequence, but we're going to be adding all of these together to get the final, what's the first 20 terms. Okay. So here we go. We're going to use summation notation. Right here, using the sigma, we're going to put, starting at our first term. Our very first term is 8. Okay. We are multiplying it by negative 1.5, and we're doing this to the power of x minus 1, and we're going to be plugging in a 20, and this is going to be our final answer. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and take our time and type it in nice and neat. We'll do sigma notation once again. Alpha window, number 2. Next there, and 1 there. Going to 20th term, starting with an 8, okay, times, I'm going to do parentheses, negative 1.5, I'm going to close the parentheses and then raise that to x minus 1, okay, and press enter. I get this, negative 10,637.62. Hey, I think I see it. You see it? I see it. Right there. Voila. Alright, that's all you're doing. Okay. Alright, then we also have word problems. Alright, we'll practice. We'll do one more word problem here. Okay. It says, Buddy opens up a savings account that earned 0.1% interest on the last day of the month. His initial deposit is $90 on the first of the month, and he deposits another $90 on the first day of each month after that. How much money would be in Buddy's account at the end of the first day of the 5th month? Okay, end of the first day on the 5th month. All right, so here we go. Let's just figure this one out, and we'll call it a day. All right, we're going to start. We're going to do it the slow way, and then we're going to do it the long way. Okay, so we're going to start with $90. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, if it's 0.1% interest, 0.1%, if I divided that by 100%, we're going to move the decimal over 2 places. Okay, so it's going to be 0.001. So that means our rate, all right, if we take 100%, which is 1, and we add 0.1%, which is 0.001, that means our R value is actually 1.001. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little math here. We're going to take that 90, I'm going to clear this out, take the 90, multiply it by 1.001, and we're at 90.09, and then we're going to add 90 to it, because that's the next part. We get 180.09. 180.09. Let me write that down. 180.09. Then I'm going to take that answer and multiply it by 1.001. And then I'm going to add another 180 to it. What am I doing? Not 180, silly. Adding 90 to it. Let me try that again. Let's just take away 90. And that puts us at 270.27. 270.27. 270.27. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to multiply that by 1.001. We're going to add another $90 to that, because at the beginning of each month he adds $90. Right? Good old buddy. All right, check this out. 360.54. Alright, so we're going to take 360.54, we're going to multiply it by 1.001, press enter, and then we're going to add another 90 to it and get 450.9. Alright, 450.9, write that down. 450.90. Okay. Alright, so right here, this is after the first one. This is he puts money in. All right, opens up a savings account. On the last day of the month, his deposit gets that interest. So at the end of the second month, all right, he's right there at that. All right. Then this is going to be the third. This is going to be the fourth, and this is going to be the fifth. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a different. We're going to do it a little bit different right here. Right now, we're going to do summation notation. We're going to put x equals 1. We're going to start out with 90. All right, we're going to multiply it by 1.001 to the power of x minus 1, and we're going to put in the number 5. We're going to see what happens. All right, here we go. One more time. Alpha window number 2. Going to put an x. Going to put a 1. Going to go over here, put 5. All right, we're going to put 90 times 1.001 to the power of x minus 1. Cross our fingers. Hey, cool, we get the same answer. Alright, so right here we're going to go ahead and try this real quick. Alright, we're going to type it in to the nearest hundredth. 90. And there we go. So hopefully this will be helpful when you guys are trying to tackle these problems. All right? Y'all have a good one.